Hey to Write Love on Our Arms team, my name is Missy Darnell and I'm applying for the 2014 summer internship. To me, community is connection. It's wrapped up in vulnerability and courage, and it's so much more than just bodies occupying the same space at the same time. I've been part of many communities over the past few years, and there's this kind of treasure, this unseen piece that tends to show up in those healthy communities. Slowly but surely, each individual life and personality and story tends to start being knit together, whether it's intentional or not. And as people start to do this life thing together over time, there's this untangible connection, a connection that not only happens between people in the immediate proximity, but a connection that happens over time and over states and across the country. And it happens despite the many differences that communities inevitably bring together. And a healthy community is intentional. It takes a lot of work, and there's probably going to be many hiccups, and it's very messy, but I feel like that's what makes it so beautiful. Healthy communities are striving towards something together, and that's what keeps it alive whenever any adversity comes along, which it inevitably does. And having a team of people doing life right alongside you is probably one of the best things in the world. No one can do this whole life thing alone. To Write Love on Our Arms was actually kind of a catalyst that helped give me my life back. I, on a whim, decided to attend the first To Write Love on Her Arms U Chapter Summer Conference a couple years ago, ultimately wanting to start my own U Chapter. And I was in the midst of struggling with a severe eating disorder and depression and self-harm, and once I got home from the conference, I finally sought treatment and help for those. And I wasn't able to start a U Chapter as I graduated in May, but something tells me that this might have been my journey all along, that I only needed to go to the conference to internalize those messages that there is hope and things will and they can change. And I really believe that I'd be a good addition to this team because I've felt things deeper than a black hole. I've been there, I've been down that path, but I've also felt the soaring joy of recovery, and there is nothing in this world like it. And I desperately want to be able to share that with other people who do not think it was possible, because I used to be one of them. I was influenced by pretty much anything and everything that came into my path. People, circumstances, you name it. But as soon as I started to discover what my values were and who I wanted to be, those are the things that started to influence my life. Connection, honesty, dependability, those are the things that really guide my life and how I live my life. I used to think that leaders had to be these crazy, outspoken, extroverted bombshells that in order to get people to follow them, but that has never really been my personality, no matter how hard I tried to make it fit. And I finally started to realize that I didn't need fireworks or flashy lights or anything like that to influence people, but I had the power to influence them with my quiet compassion and through my words and actions and ability to establish trust so that they have some solid ground to stand upon. Above anything else, I'm probably most passionate about reading, writing, and music. I'm a science major at school, so any opportunity that I have to paint or draw or write or read a book, I will jump at. A conversation that really sparked change in my life actually happened at the U Chapter Summer Conference that I attended 2 years ago. I was in a session, and it was towards the end of the day, and it was a topic that was really hitting close to home for me. So I got up and left the session and came back at the end, puffy-eyed and everything, and I made eye contact with this girl across the room who I had had maybe 1 or 2 conversations with the day before. So I didn't know her too awfully well, but she came over to me and she gave me a hug, and she looked me in the eyes and said, "Me too." And I didn't realize how much power would be in just those 2 words, and although it wasn't a extremely verbal conversation, it changed my life completely. I have a serious addiction to gummy bears and peanut butter. I collect quotes like candy, quote for anything, any situation. Anytime I come across one, I'll write it down, I'll put it on a Post-it. I have them all over my room. I can't drink anything without a straw. Quirk number 4 is, I guess it's more of a random fact, but I tutored a blind girl in anatomy last year, which was quite the experience, and it was actually pretty cool. I have 2 matching scars on my kneecaps, but they are from completely different events, probably at least 6 or 7 years apart.